How to write a short romantic story. Example 1. Lily and the Tall Ships Race. 1. Choose a topic you want to tell about and one event in the life of the hero of your story. For example, when I wrote the short story Lily and the Tall Ships Race, the creation of the story happened very quickly. I had visited a large sailing ship as part of the Tall Ships Race 2024 event, and as I walked the deck of the tall race ship with my head up and my hand on my cap, which kept trying to fly off my head in that position, looking at the masts of the beautiful ship, my imagination first conjured up a song about Ecuador. Then I realized I wanted to write a story about how two people, a young girl and a sailor on that ship, met romantically and fell in love. It was impossible to resist this picture. It was as if I saw a couple of young people standing, holding hands, on the deck of the sailing ship, and gazing unceasingly into each other's eyes. The girl's light-colored dress fluttered in the light sea breeze, and the boy was ready to embrace her to protect her from this fresh wind. Of course, you will see in your imagination another place and other heroes of your future story. You decide where this place will be and the characters in your story. You have to want to tell this story to the rest of your listeners or readers, and that is it. This very scene was not in my story. It was only in my imagination that I remained that way until I got home and wrote down the idea for the story as I described above. 2. Formalizing the idea and the characters in the short story. That is it, you will say. The idea of the story is there, and so are its characters. And we even see where they are and what they are doing, holding hands and looking at each other. So what, is this already a short story? No, of course not. And you would be right. The story's plot is ready, but needs to be shaped to create its beginning and end. Here is how you can do that. Consider again my short story Lily and the Tall Ships Race. Since I was creating a romantic story, my characters had to meet somewhere. I came up with the idea that the couple would bump into each other right at the gangway of this sailing ship, where a crowd of visitors would rush in. In fact, my family and I were also standing in a long line waiting for passage to the deck of this ship. Then, the sailor of this sailboat will rescue a girl he does not know from the crowd and take her to the boat himself. At the same time, he will show her the sailing ship. That is all. The beginning of the story is ready, and so are the images of its characters. 3. Intrigue in the moment when the plot of the story turns unexpectedly in another direction, a twist. However, to be more interesting, the story must be intriguing. Then, we think of the story further by developing it. Yes, the young people liked each other, but the girl came to the ship with friends. And she will have to leave with them, breaking up with the young man she likes so much. Leaving, the girl will invite the sailor to a party, which will be held in a cafe right at the pier, where the sailing ship is moored. However, the girl doubts that he can come after all. He has only been here for a few days. Did he find her as attractive as she saw him? Is she worthy of a handsome guy coming to her on her invitation? This is the kind of plot twist creates some tension in the story. Will the young people who suddenly like each other be able to give the sudden love story hope for continuation? 4. The outcome of the story. And now, for a short story, we can create the outcome what we have described everything up to this point for. So, the girl is at a party, but all her thoughts are not with her friends, but about that sailor. Will he come? Is he looking forward to seeing her as much as she is? And here he appears on the dance floor, her hero and handsome man. And, of course, the slow dance sounds just for them. That is how I created the short romantic short story Lily and the Tall Ships Race. If you'd like to listen to it as a whole or read it in my other romantic short stories, use the audio story link and links to my short story collections in the description of this video and the comments. By coming up with a theme and how the story begins and ends, you will create your short story and delight those who appreciate this art form with it. If you are interested, you can hear about how I created more romance short stories and why in the following videos in this series.